Hi, Carrie Burchill here with another episode of Shine Like a North Star. Our goal in these live feeds is to really empower you with some strategies to harness your best communication skills so that you have healthier trust and productivity with the people that you're working with. So you can apply these skills in your personal life. I'm targeting them for leaders and professional live work. Take it however it makes the most sense for you, though. I recently led a tough conversations workshop, and I want to share with you some takeaways that group had from the workshop. The reason why I do this is every time I do a tough conversations workshop, they're always tailored to that group. And the concepts are the same, but how we apply them can look a little bit differently. So the takeaway for this group was that really valuable point of keeping emotion out of the tough conversation. Easier said than done, right? By the time it comes for us to have a hard conversation, we are wired up like I am fed up with you, right? And so our emotions are naturally in there, in us, part of the conversation. So here are 3 tips for you to keep your emotions in check. Because when those emotions get out of check, that's when the conversation can spiral, things don't get done, you get caught off guard. You leave the conversation going, why didn't I say that before? And you're beating yourself up. So the emotions just play havoc, right? So let's talk about some ways to keep the emotions in check so that you can have really healthy interpersonal communication and you get out of the conversation what you need to be able to move forward. So first thing, stick to facts. Easier than it sounds. So when you think about having a tough conversation with someone, you have a sense of how they're going to respond. In fact, their responses to stuff is probably why you're having the tough conversation to begin with, right? Part of the problem, not all of it probably. And so think about the facts that this person needs to kind of put a cap on what their argument is going to be. So let's say that I have an employee who's coming late to work all the time. So keep it simple, right? And I need to have a tough conversation. If you don't come on time, then, that's going to result in some disciplinary action. Maybe your job's at risk, whatever the story is. And so I think in my head, what is that employee going to say back to me, right? Is it going to be, I have kids, I need to do all these things? Is it going to be, I stay later and so I can come in later? Is it going to be, I didn't know it was a big deal? Like what arguments are they going to throw at you? And that's where proactively as a leader, you can think, what are the facts that I can give this person, right? And so some of my facts might be, we have a team of 5 people. The other 4 also have kids and they come on time, right? The fact is, when you come an hour late every day, you miss these meetings. In the last month, you missed, 18 meetings. Hope you don't have that many meetings. Throw out facts, right? It's just not okay that you can come late and stay late. Here's a fact about the impact of you coming in late. So you want to proactively think, what are the facts you can put in your back pocket to help respond to someone? Let's say that my tough conversation is around our relationship not being very healthy. What are facts around that? The facts might be your own apprehension partnering with that person, right? I have a pit in my stomach when I know I have to meet with you. It's a fact. The person could say, no, you don't. It's my tummy, my pit. I feel it when we have to meet, right? So the facts can even be squishy stuff. Right? I feel anxiety when we have to meet. Or it can be more behavioral based, like we're working together on this project and we've been assigned this project together for 2 months. We haven't met once. That's a behavioral fact, right? Or I've sent 5 emails out in the last 2 weeks and you haven't responded to any of them. That's a fact. So what gets tricky is when our emotions sneak in there. Our conversations become more about opinion, and that sets us up for this. We want to stick it in the fact-based arena, because facts are facts, right? You miss meetings, other people are navigating the schedule, you haven't responded to email. Those are just facts. And people are naturally going to have their reactions to it. All the same, the fact is the fact. Let's get down to the root of the tough conversation. So first thing to manage your emotion in tough conversations is just stick to facts. Proactively think about what that person is going to do in their response to you, and really own and anticipate the facts that's going to kind of mitigate what their opinion and sort of potentially explosive response might be as you have this tough conversation. Second thing is self-manage. Stretching your emotional intelligence here. So what sort of things do you do when you're in stressful conversations? For me, my neck gets red. It kind of goes here into my cheeks too. So in tough conversations, I self-manage that by saying to people, hey, you'll notice my neck is red because this conversation is stressful for me. Fact and stressful fact, right? I just use my first strategy to help me with the second strategy of self-manage. Another thing I do is I always have a thermos. When I get a little, I don't know where this conversation is going, my head's spinning faster than my brain can process. Oh yeah, take a quick sip, right? So have something in there to self-manage. Some people take notes, right? Just slow your head down by taking a few notes. Maybe you have a bottle of water, mine's a teacup, and that gives you a little bit of think time to sort of manage that anxiety. You can also manage yourself by determining the spaces where you have meetings. Where do you feel most comfortable to have these challenging conversations? Set yourself up for success. It's your job to manage you. That is definitely within your box of control. It's not even influence. It's not out of your control. You 100% control your self-management. So we can brainstorm about that. I'd be more than happy to hop on a call and just brainstorm with you around how you manage yourself so that you can have these healthy, tough conversations and move forward. Like, there's no point sort of hitting your head against the wall on these things when you've got it. Let's just slow down together to think through some strategies for you to stick to the facts and self-manage. The third one is more of a mindset consideration for you, and that's really to keep top of mind who has the power. Now, power is a tricky word. Let's take it on the surface, really, of how I intend it, which is, healthy relationships have equal power, and unhealthy relationships is when one person tries to take that power away from someone else. And now there's this power thing. Now, what can happen is if you let your emotions take over, that is a gateway for this person to grab a hold of your power and use it in their arguments and their ridiculousness, right? So the more you can stick to the facts, self-manage, the better you're going to manage the power in there. And really think about, where is the power going in this conversation? Because you have the power to keep it balanced. If you're the one initiating a tough conversation, you see the opportunity for growth, progress, getting on the same page, getting on the same side of the table, whatever metaphor you'd like for that. You see it. And so it's your job to initiate and manage the power. So do not give up all of your power by letting the emotions get ahead of you, right? So if you are someone that kind of cries during tough conversations, or like me, your neck gets red, or you start biting your nails, whatever your things are. We all have things we do in tough conversations. Nobody really likes conflict. Few people. And own that. Part of the self-management is, I'm crying right now because we do not have a good relationship. I'm crying because I feel intimidated. Like, own it. Right? We're allowed to feel whatever we feel. Take that control so that when somebody tries to take the power from you, what you're doing, because you're self-managing, is you're putting up a wall. They can't get at it. Even if you're crying, even if your neck's red, even if you're biting your nails, whatever all that stuff is, you have the courage to start the tough conversation. So when they try to take advantage of your vulnerability, that's different than your emotions taking over. When they try to take advantage of your vulnerability, no, I'm allowed to say, this is a tough conversation, this is a hard spot, I am stretching, holding you accountable for your part in whatever's breaking down in our relationship or the work or whatever it is, right? So that mindset of manage the power, you have it. You're the one that sees the opportunity for this. Stick to the facts, self-manage, and really have that mindset around where the power is, because no one has the right to take away your power. You have every right to be in that conversation, even though it's hard, even though it's messy, right? You're the whole package. I would love you to join our recurring tough conversation workshops. We can pop you in every month that we have them. So email me, DM me, message me, whatever it takes to get on that list, because these workshops are ones where people are feeling very empowered. And I even had someone after this last one talk to me about how they're really using these in their personal lives as well as their professional lives. Like, tough conversations are everywhere, right? I'm targeting leaders and teams and that interpersonal communication that needs to happen for us to really thrive and have trust and really kick butt on some productivity. We're in a national staffing shortage. Productivity is hard. Supplies are different, demands are different, job roles are changing. There's a lot of stuff going on that need tough conversations, and they do not have to be bad. Tough conversations are not conflicts if we do them well. So let's connect. I'd love you to be a part of our workshops. They're $99. They're a 2-part series, super cheap, and really game changing. So I'm Carrie Burchell. Thanks for joining another episode of Shine Like a North Star. Take care.